You know that feeling when you land on a web page and you just feel this pull to buy something, but you can't quite put your finger on why? Well, today, we're going to pull back the curtain on a product called Neuro-Balance Therapy. We're going to deconstruct its sales page piece by piece to see the exact techniques they use to turn a casual browser into a committed customer. So here's how we're going to break this down. First, we'll look at the big, powerful promise the page makes. Then we'll see what you actually get for your money. After that, we'll dig into the so-called evidence they use to build trust, analyze the pricing, and finally see how they handle those last-minute questions that pop into your head. All right, so every really effective sales pitch doesn't start with a product, right? It starts with a problem. It has to connect with a real-world pain point or maybe even a deep fear. Let's see what they're targeting here. Right off the bat, this page zeroes in on a really fundamental fear, especially as we get older, losing our physical stability, and with it, our independence. And they don't position this as just some minor issue. No, this is framed as a deep, gut-level anxiety. And here's where it gets really clever. The language shifts from the physical problem to the emotional one. See, you're not just selling better balance. You're selling freedom from the fear of falling. That is a way more powerful motivator. Now, check out the power of being specific. By saying it works for ages 52 to 94, it feels like it could work for anyone. And that 14 days promise, it gives you a clear short-term finish line. Vague promises are easy to ignore, but concrete claims like this just feel more real and make you think, hey, what's the harm in trying? Okay, so the emotional hook is in. They've got your attention, but what is the actual thing you're buying to get this promised stability? Let's take a look at what's in the box. So the product itself is kind of the best of both worlds. You get the physical stuff, the DVD and the spike ball, which makes the purchase feel substantial, like you're getting something real. But then you also get instant digital access, which feeds that modern need to have it right now. It's a smart way to cover all the bases. Oh, and this is a classic marketing move. It's all about scarcity. By telling you that you can only get this program on this one page, it creates this feeling of exclusivity and urgency. It plants a little seed of doubt in your mind, like, if I click away, I might miss out on this unique thing forever. So they've made this huge promise and shown you the product. Now, the natural next question for anyone with a healthy dose of skepticism is, okay, but how do I know this actually works? Well, the page uses a two-pronged attack to build that crucial trust. The first tactic is what's known as social proof, and it starts with personal stories. This one from Jim isn't just a generic, it worked great. No, it paints a picture, an aspirational one, a 75-year-old crushing it at the gym with guys 30 years younger. It's selling a very specific, very desirable result. Now, John's story here works a little differently. It's less about a dramatic result and more about shared values. By talking about healthy longevity, it's trying to make the potential buyer nod their head and think, yeah, this guy gets it. We're on the same team. And finally, Shirley's quote just brings it all home. That word, grounded, is so powerful. It's a feeling. It takes this abstract idea of stability and makes it something you can almost physically imagine, something you can feel in your feet. Okay, so after they've appealed to your heart with all these personal stories, the page makes a very strategic pivot. Now it's time to appeal to your brain, shifting away from anecdotes to the cold, hard authority of science. This is a technique you could call authority by association. They don't even need to tell you what these studies found. The whole point is just to flash these big, recognizable, authoritative names in front of you, the NIH, the CDC, the New York Times, and let all of their credibility just kind of rub off on the product. All right, the emotional and logical groundwork has been laid. It is time to talk about money. Let's break down exactly how the price is presented to make this offer feel like an absolute no-brainer. This right here is a classic pricing strategy called anchoring. By showing you that higher list price of $97 first, they set that value in your mind. That's the anchor. So when you see the discounted price of $47, your brain instantly thinks, wow, that's a huge bargain, even if they always plan to sell it for $47. And to make it even simpler, they just boil the whole discount down to one big, bold number. You save $50 is so much more powerful than making you do the math. It totally reframes the deal. It's not about what you're spending, it's about what you're saving. So at this point, you're close. You're on the verge of buying, but you've probably still got some of those little nagging doubts in the back of your mind. A good sales page knows this, and it hits those hesitations head on in an FAQ section. Let's see how they do it. First up, They tackle the fear of the unknown. We've all been there, right? You're worried about hidden costs or getting trapped in some subscription you never wanted. And the answer couldn't be more direct. Using phrases like one-time payment and no secret charges is very intentional. It's designed to completely erase that anxiety and make you feel like this is a totally transparent, honest transaction.
Next, they address the single biggest hurdle for any purchase like this. This all sounds great, but what if it just doesn't work for me?
And here's the solution. It's a powerful tool called risk reversal. By offering a 60-day money-back guarantee, they are literally taking all the risk off of your shoulders and putting it onto their own. It makes the decision to click buy feel completely safe. So as we've seen, this sales page is a pretty amazing exercise in persuasion. It doesn't just list features of a product. It weaves this whole narrative that appeals to our emotional desire for safety and our logical need for proof. It's just a powerful reminder that the best arguments are almost always the ones that speak to both our heart and our head. Thanks for tuning in.